there's a built-in danger, I think, for people who come out of a dance, or sometimes an athletic background, maybe gymnastics or something like that, who land in a yoga class. Because on the surface, it seems like we're asking you to do things that are really way too easy. You know? Do this shape, do that balance, do that split, do that arm support or whatever. And it's like, if you're a dancer or a gymnast, these are things that are familiar to you. These are movement skills that you have. It's strength and flexibility to put your body into shapes or balances or whatever that you basically already have. And so it may seem like, well, this yoga stuff is easy. And that's where the danger is. And that's where it should hopefully be pointed out right away to somebody like that. It is not about how far you can go. You know, it's not about, oh, what's the next level of flexibility we can push you into, or we can allow you to push yourself into. Because also those worlds are competitive in a way that can lead to trouble once you take that into yoga practice. You know, not necessarily competitive like I have to be better than the person next to me, but with yourself. You know, and there's a way of, a mentality of pushing through pain to get where you want to get to, that also sometimes comes with somebody when they come from that world, you know. And people who aren't athletes or dancers can have that attitude as well. So one of the reasons we look at the basic nature of these joints is to come at the body with a certain respect for what has evolved to do over, you know, hundreds of millions of years. And use that at least as a starting point for exploring its possibilities. Because in a way, one of the things that people immediately encounter when they start practicing yoga is, wow, why can't my body do that? Or, why is my body able to do that so easily? And there's other people in the room that may have been practicing for a long time who can't do it. I think we all had that experience in some way or other when we first started practicing. The first time we got on a mat in a room with other people, we begin noticing the similarities and differences between ourselves and other people, you know? And so the question is, you know, how much do I go in the direction of what's easy, and how much do I challenge myself in the direction of what's difficult? And at what point do I stop pushing into difficult things because those aren't going to change, because that's who I am? And at what point do I stop pursuing the things that are easy because, well, if I keep doing that, I'm just going to injure myself, you know? And that's the Ishvara Pranidhana Tapas Swadhyaya context of yoga practice. So whether we're made conscious of it or not, it's there. The minute you get in a room with other people and start seeing the similarities and differences between what you can do and what they can do, that conversation is going on. The trick, I think, for us as yoga instructors and practitioners is to make it conscious and put it in this framework that Patanjali has given us of understanding what constitutes yoga practice. It means having some knowledge of what is changeable in our system so that we can change it in a positive direction, and having some knowledge of what is not so much going to change, what is more in our nature, that is just the way it is, so that we can stop trying to force it to change. And of course the Swadhyaya is what gives us that ability to discriminate one from the other.